Hey everyone, how is it going? And welcome to my medium/high level rebuilding guide. So lately a ton of people have been asking me how they should rebuild. They've been hacked, they've been cleaned, they've been whatever have you, they've lost their money, and they want to know how to effectively get some money back from nothing. So today I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks, things that I would do if I were to lose my bank, how I would make my money back. Now this is going to be somewhat of a long guide and it will have multiple methods in it. So in the description I will have a table of contents where you can skip around to parts, and I will also list the requirements for these methods down below. That way if you want to try a method you can see, oh well, I don't have these requirements, so I probably can't do it. So that'll be listed down below for your viewing pleasure. So with that, let's get right into it. Alright, so a wild baboon just invaded my house, held me gunpoint with a banana, and forced me to log on and drop all my items. What am I going to do now to rebuild? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start off by heading over to the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. The only real requirements for this are god items, so you need at least a Zammy item, a Barrows item, and a Ceradomin item. An orbital item is nice, but it is not required, so you at least need those three gods. You also need either 60 strength or 60 agility to enter. So, I think what I have on is by far the easiest combination of god items. So I'm wearing a Zammy cape, an ancient mace, and a monk's robe, which counts as a Ceradomin item. Now, the requirements to get these items is first of all Mage's Arena to get a god cape. If you're using a god book, you need to complete Horror from the Deep. Monk's robe, the only requirement, I actually don't think there is any requirements. All you have to do is head over to the monastery, head up the ladder, and then pick up the monk's robe that is laying on the table. You can get that for free. So, any mix and match you want to use of these works. Now, the ancient mace is the only really easy Barrows item to obtain that I can think of. The ancient mace is a quest reward from the quest Another Slice of Ham. So if you've done that quest, you should have your ancient mace, hopefully, and if you did the quest and lost it, you can head back to Tegdak, who is located in the Dorgish Khan, probably just the marketplace, I guess you would call it, and he'll sell you one back for just 1,000 GP, so it's really easy to get back. This is the only easy Barrows item I can think of other than a Barrows book. So if you have a Barrows book, that would work as well. Then you could use a normal weapon or just kick them, to be honest, because you're going to be mostly killing imps. So that being said, just find any mix that you can of a Zammy, Sarah, and Barrows item. Again, Ancient Mace is probably the easiest Barrows item to get, although it is definitely the most difficult god item to obtain. That being said, if you have at least 3 of these god items, and you have 60 strength / 60 agility, it is time to head to the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. I'm going to show you on the world map where it's located. I'm not going to record me getting there. See this little dungeon marker right here? It is right there. Now if you notice, there is an ancient teleport thingy right here. So the quickest way to get there is to cross over the bridge from Edgeville. Get on this teleport thing right here and just wait until it takes you to this one. So I'm going to head up towards this teleport pad right here. Just cross the bridge, go north, go by the mammoths, and get on that until it takes you to the correct one. Okay, so I got to the correct one. Just head a little bit northwest and you can enter the cave. Now, if you do have 60 strength, you can head to the northwest and you'll pass a boulder. If you have 60 agility, you can just go straight south and enter nice and easy. If you enter to the west, be aware there are going to be a bunch of Aviancies that will hit you, so if you don't have an orbital item, make sure you turn Prey Range on. But if you enter here, you should be perfectly safe. So once you get in, just head a little bit northwest and you're going to see some imps. Okay, there's a person here, so I'm going to hop really quick. Okay, I've got an open world, so come to this general area right here, and you're going to see some imps. Now, these are by far the easiest thing to kill here. Every single monster in this dungeon has the exact same drop rate of ecumenical keys. Basically, how it works is, if you don't have a key at all, you have a current drop rate of 1 out of 50. So you have a 1 out of 50 drop rate to get an ecumenical key. Once you have one key, the drop rate increases to 1 out of 60, or rather decreases, I guess, to 1 out of 60. Once you have your second key, the drop rate again goes to 1 out of 70, and that is it. You can only hold 3 keys at a time. So if you have Alk runes, definitely bring them with you. That way you don't lose the drop rate. So anyway, that being said, just kill these as quick as you can. They're not incredibly rare, but they do get more rare the more keys you have. And yeah, just alk all the keys that you get. They alk for 61,500 GP each, and they are incredibly easy to get. Sometimes you go through bad luck streaks and it takes me a couple of hours to get 3, but there's a lot of times where, obviously you're a lot more lucky than that, and it doesn't really take too long to get 3 of them. So that being said, just farm these imps and any other low-level monsters you can find. For example, there's some pyre fiends here, and if you head this direction, you'll find some goblins. So basically, just make your rounds, killing imps, killing goblins. And if you wanted this the fastest way possible, if you have OS Buddy Pro, you can quick hop using the world function. So all you would have to do is kill the 3 imps, quick hop to the next world, kill the 3 imps, and carry that on. Personally, I don't like to do that. The imps spawn pretty quickly, and I just think it's unnecessary. So basically, this is what you're going to do for quite a while. Now, I'm going to run you guys through a couple of options that I have. Basically, the 2 best options to start off with PVM-wise. So just kill these guys for a while, get some ecumenical keys until you've made some money, and you can review some of the choices I'm about to go through with you. And once you have enough keys to go through with either one of these methods, you are probably done with Wilderness God Wars. The first one is going to be the higher requirement one, which is Skeletal Wyverns. Now, Skeletal Wyverns require 72 Slayer. However, Skeletal Wyverns are amazing money. They're about 15k per kill. So if you have at least 72 Slayer, this is absolutely recommended. Now, I've done some calculations. Basically, in order to buy a somewhat decent Skeletal Wyvern setup along with some supplies to kill them, you're going to need at least 400k cash. So that means you only need to get about 7 keys, that's it. That really shouldn't take you too long, so at this point, just continue farming these monsters, killing imps and other low-level monsters such as pyre fiends when they are being attacked, stuff like that. Just farm these until you get 7 keys. That'll give you a little over 400k, and that'll be enough money to get a decent Wyvern setup. So, that being said, carry on till you get 7 keys, but in the meantime, I'm going to calculate some more stuff, and in case you don't have 72 Slayer, I will take you through another method. Okay, so if you don't have 72 Slayer to kill Wyverns, the next best thing that you can do is Barrows. Now, there are 2 Barrow setups I'm going to go through. The first one that you can see on the left is the Iban's Blast plus Snare method, and the one on the right is the Ice Burst plus Black Salamander method. So I'll start with the left one. So basically, this one's a little tricky. Now, Iban's Staff is something that is actually very, very good. It's probably the best magic weapon in the game, apart from Trident of the Seas for the price. Now, obviously, Staff of the Dead would be better as well, but we're rebuilding here, so Iban's Staff is basically the best thing you can use for the price. Now, the issue is, you might not have a fully upgraded Iban's Staff. Now, if you got hacked, I highly doubt they would take your Iban's Staff. So if you have a fully upgraded Iban's Staff, definitely use that. It's very, very good. The only issue is that you can't freeze with ancient magic, so you would have to use Snare, which is somewhat costly with the nature runes and whatnot. So as you can see on the left, that gear setup is going to cost 650k now. It will cost you 650k if you already have the upgraded Iban's Staff. Now, if you don't have the upgraded Iban's Staff, it's going to cost you a little over 1 mil, because in order to get the staff back, you have to kill Iban's disciples and then repair it for 400k to get the fully upgraded version. So, if you don't already have the upgraded version in your bank, it's going to cost you quite a bit to get to this setup. But overall, I think it is worth it. Now, if you don't really want to carry on farming ecumenical keys and you want to start doing Barrows as soon as you can, you could try out the method on the left. Now, Black Salamanders require 70 strength. It's either strength or attack, I can't recall. But they also require 70 magic and range as well. So it is somewhat high requirements to use a Black Salamander, but it's actually very, very good for the price. Heartlander Tar is quite cheap, as is the Black Salamander. Now this one is going to be using ancient magics to freeze. I have runes for 100 casts of Ice Burst. Ice Burst is only 70 magic, which I would assume you almost have. That's another option why I have the Iban's Blast thing. Maybe you don't have Ancients, but if you do have Ancients, this is going to be a cheaper setup, and it is going to be almost just as effective. So basically, use whatever setup you can. If you have the fully upgraded Iban's Staff, or you don't mind farming ecumenical keys for a while to get the fully upgraded staff, I would definitely give the setup on the left a try, because Iban's Staff is quite good. Okay, so now let's go through a Skeletal Wyverns run. I am going to go in this gear. I guarantee you someone's going to be like, what the fuck, why is this guy at this combat level wearing this? But you know what, we'll do it. We'll do it for the vid. So, okay, here's my inventory setup. It literally is just a super attack and strength and monkfish. That is all you're going to need. Now, what you want to do is use a scroll of redirection. If you do not have scrolls of redirection, go get some. They are incredibly easy to get. What it is a Nightmare Zone reward. I'm going to teleport there now really quickly just to show you. Basically, what scrolls of redirection do is you use them on your house tabs, and they will redirect you to a different house portal than the one you're at. And you're going to want to redirect it to the Remington portal. So, once I teleport to these guys really quickly, I'm just going to show you the rewards chest. A scroll of redirection is 775 points. That's incredibly cheap. All you have to do is just go, I don't even know, like, just go start some runs by yourself. Like, pay, like, the 4K for a rumble and get some points. But anyway, once you have some scrolls of redirection, use one of them on your house tabs and redirect it to Remington. Teleport to Remington with that tab, and you'll start running a bit southeast. This is the quickest way to get to Wyverns that I know of, so just teleport here, run to the southeast. This is going to take you to the Blue Right Dungeon. I don't think it's called that exactly, but if you recall the Knight Sword quest, that is the place you're going to. The place where you have to go mine the Blue Right, it is down there. And I guess I do have a full-on, like, Beast Mode Skeletal Wyverns guide. If you want to check it out, it is linked in the description. I'll link, like, a Barrows guide and all that stuff, too, just for future reference if you want to watch, like, the real guides. This is just a quick little run-through. But anyway, you do need an Elemental Shield or a Mind Shield for these guys. They have a special kind of magic breath, and you have to use an Elemental Shield. I don't know why. I'm just sure at least one of you might be confused to why I'm using an Elemental Shield, but that is why. Just carry on this path. It's pretty easy to get there. Now, if you have the Piety ability unlocked, if you have 70 Prayer for Piety, put that on your Quick Prayers. It's very, very useful here. That being said, just enter the cave, find some open wyverns to kill, make sure you don't steal anyone's spot. That's rude, that's rude. I'm gonna run away from this guy, because I don't want him to look at my gear. Just, go on my merry way, and start killing them. Now, I do have 99, I'm almost max melee. I'm max melee, other than having 98 defense, so I'm gonna be hitting still fairly well, even with this gear on, so don't expect you're going to get, a full inventory of kills per trip. But like I said, these things are about 15k per kill. So if you can do at least 3 or 4 full inventories worth, that is going to be worth quite a bit. And it will allow you to buy better gear to do longer runs. So basically, just kill them like this. It's going to be a little bit slow using crappy gear in a Dragon Scimitar, but it'll get the job done. Nobody said rebuilding was easy, but I don't know. You never know. You could get a Visage drop. Wyverns drop Visages at a 1 out of 10,000 rate, so who knows? You could get a Visage drop and boom, you don't even have to worry about rebuilding anymore. So Wyverns are probably the best rebuilding method, but obviously not everyone can do them. So okay, that is pretty much it as far as Wyverns go. Just kill them until you're out of food, teleport to your house, bank, and then repeat the process. Okay, so time to run you through the first Barrows setup. This one is using the Iban Blast method. This is the inventory I would bring roughly. We've got 200 casts of Iban's Blast and 100 casts of Snare, along with a D-Skim switch, a spade, a house telly, 4 of our prayer potions, and monkfish. The quickest way to get there would be to teleport with the Shades of Morton minigame telly. This requires you to finish the Shades of Morton quest, I'm pretty sure. But again, that's a pretty low level quest. I would hope you would have that done. Hi. How's it going? Anyway, let's head over there now. Oh, rude! That was not nice at all. That was not nice at all. Okay, let's carry on. Head over to Barrows. If you don't have a spade, like maybe your bank is completely fucking wiped. You never know. Maybe you don't have a spade. There's actually a spade spawn just up here. I'm sure most of you know how to get to Barrows, but if you carry on past where you normally turn into Barrows, you can see this little shack over here, and there are some spades in there, but obviously I have one. So the first brother I'm going to kill is DH, so I'm going to dig, turn Prey Melee on, just to stay safe. At this point, you want to auto-cast Iban's Blast, cast Snare on him, and then I'm gonna run away. I'm going to turn my Prey Melee off because I'm safe now, but sometimes Iban's Blast isn't the most accurate, however, it can hit up to 25. Now, Snare is only going to hold your opponent for 10 seconds, so, as you know, that's not an incredibly long time at all. So if you, I can't even, okay, there we go. If you can use Entangle, which I'm about to do just for the video's sake, It is highly recommended. 10 seconds isn't long at all. It's enough for like 2 casts. So try and use Entangle. It really does make a big difference. And then just carry on. Entangle can hit pretty hard, so you should be able to hit him at least 3 times now with Entangle up. So do be careful. DH obviously can kind of ruin your life. He can hit very hard. Okay, you can hit him approximately 4 times. If you have Prayer, you can risk it and get hit on that last one. And then just wait for him to come around again. I'm going to Entangle him and just repeat the process. This is going to be the exact same for all the Melee Brothers, so I'm not going to record any Melee Brothers other than DH because the process is going to be the exact same. And he's got 2 HP left, and down he goes. So that's pretty easy. All you have to do is Entangle them, stay away from them, and run around the crypt like I did to not get hit. That way you won't use any Prayer on the Melee Brothers. Then run over to Carol. This is the order that I've always done them in. I do Carol next because you do need Prayer for Carol. So turn on Protect from range, and of course they are stacked up. Now flick Piety on if you have it. If you don't have Piety, make sure you're flicking on Ultimate Strength. If you did decide to buy Super Attack and Strength, you can use them at this point. I don't bring them because I'm max melee and I have Piety, so I should be hitting decently well, even though I'm kind of not. But if your stats are a little bit lower, I would definitely bring the Super Attack and Strength because they will help a lot. But yeah, this is pretty easy. Drink a Prayer when you have to. You shouldn't use a ton of Prayer because the only brothers you use Prayer on are Carol and Aram. So once DH is dead, kill Carol with Prayer, then head over to Aram. You're going to need to use him with Prayer as well. He is currently my tunnel, so I'm not going to get too in-depth with this. I have a ton of Barrows guides. They will be linked down below. I have a medium-level Barrows guide and a high-level Barrows guide, so those will be linked down below if you need to know more about Barrows. Okay, guys, so this is our second method. Now, I'm not actually going to do this method because I have a high-level Barrows guide on YouTube, and it uses this exact method, so I'm just going to link you to that instead. It'll be in the description. I mean, it's just redundant for me to make a guide when I already have a guide with the exact same method. So this is my inventory. I would bring a Dragon Skimmy, a Staff of Water. I did forget to mention before, you should probably bring a Staff of Water because it'll save money in the long run rather than using Water Runes. And then also you have 100 casts worth of Death Runes and Chaos Runes, a Spade, a Teleport to House, 6 Prayer Potions, and the rest Monkfish. Using this method, you'll probably take less damage because the Black Salamander hits pretty hard consistently. And using the Ice Burst spell, the monster will stay frozen longer. The higher your magic is, the higher freeze spell you can use. I would say that 70 magic is a good thing to assume you have. Well, plus you do need 70 magic for the Salamander, but 70 magic for Ice Burst, Ice Burst, is pretty much a minimum, I would say. So this is the setup I would use for this. I brought all my Harlander tar as well, so this is the setup I would use for this method. Once again, the link is in the description if you want to know how to actually do it. And I guess that's pretty much it for Barrows, so let's move on to a different method. So, between Skeletal Wyverns and Barrows, those are by far my most recommended methods, but of course there are a lot of other methods to be used. I'm going to go over one really obvious method, that is Green Dragons. Now, everyone knows that Green Dragons are good money, but I'm actually going to give you just a few tips on how to do it well. This is going to be the quickest method. You're going to have to spend the least amount of time at the Wilderness Goblins dungeon to do this one. All you need is a couple of key drops so that you can buy a Dragon Scimitar and some house tabs and maybe a little bit of food / super tag and strengths if you want to speed it up. That being said, pretty much the fastest way to kill Green Dragons is with a looting bag. Now, if you don't know what a looting bag is, basically it's an extra inventory in the wilderness. If I check my looting bag, you can see that it's empty. Now, while you are in the wilderness, you can put 28 items inside of the looting bag, but you can't take them back out till you get out of the wilderness. So while you're killing Green Dragons, you can fill up a looting bag, which is literally 28 extra bones and hides, and then fill your inventory. So you can get a ton of kills per hour, and killing Green Dragons like this is actually pretty good money per hour. Now, if you don't have a looting bag, the quickest way to get one is to kill Chaos Druids over here. They're at the Chaos Temple. Now, you do need to pray mage to kill these, but there is an altar here, so just pray mage, kill them until you get a looting bag, and pray at the altar over and over again. It's very quick to get one here. So, once you have your looting bag and your Dragon Skimmy and an anti-dragon shield you can either buy or you can get one for free from Duke Horatio, I think it is, in the Lumbridge Castle. You can get it for free. So, once you have your Skimmy, an anti-dragon shield, and a looting bag, and some house tabs, I'll show you how I would kill Green Dragons. Once again, I'm going to start at Edgeville, and I'm going to run to the the Western Dragons. And there's a lot of places you can kill green dragons. This is the quickest way that I can think of without using teleport runes to teleport to different places in the wilderness. This is a pretty quick way. Now, as you can see, I'm not wearing any armor, and you might think, you don't have any armor or any food, you're going to take quite a bit of damage. However, all you have to do is turn your quick prayers to protect from melee, and I will take no melee damage and use no prayer. Now, the dragon's going to hit me a little bit with dragon breath, so I should be bringing food, but just for the sake of, making this video, I didn't grab any food. I'll just show you the basic method. So, head over here, you will find 3 green dragons down here, and all you have to do is attack them. Now, the reason why I don't have any prayer potions is I'm going to be prey flicking them. So, right when he's about to melee me, I'm going to flick protect from melee on, and that's really all you have to do. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this guide. I hope you all found it helpful or enjoyed the video. I know this isn't like anything crazy like Mr. Mammal discovers brand new money-making method. Like, I'm on fucking Fox News. Like, I know. These are some of the more commonly known methods, but the thing is, they're commonly known and overly used for a reason because they're good. But I think, personally, I would say not a ton of people actually know about the ecumenical key thing. That's kind of the main reason I wanted to make this, because that's easily the best way to start off. So, anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this guide. I hope you all did enjoy. I know I didn't get into, like, any serious bossing and shit, but I would say between Wyverns, Barrows, or camping green dragons for a while, that should make you plenty of money to try and get some decent gear back, or to get some decent cash going, so that you can return to doing the things that you do. Whether you do Slayer, and you do this until you can buy a whip and some Torags, or you do bossing and you do this until you can buy who knows what gear, maybe some gear for DKs or something like that, or perhaps you're a staker and you do this until you can make a couple mil back, go back to the arena, and lose it all. I'm not a fan of staking, in case you can't tell. Anyway, guys, once again, that is it for the guide. This guide took me quite a while to make, mostly because of the thumbnails. I'm not gonna lie, the little pictures used throughout kind of took me a while to make, even though I know they're not anything special, but I'm not the most gifted with GIMP, so I do my best. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you found the guide helpful, feel free to leave a like. Like I said, I worked pretty hard on this guide. It took a while to make, so I'd appreciate if you dropped a like to show some support. See you later, guys.